In today's world, the game has changed. Men are no longer losing just because women are leaving. They're losing because they're staying in situations where they're being used, drained, and disrespected. Why? Because most men aren't trained to spot manipulation when it's wrapped in sweet words, soft smiles, and maybe someday energy. So today I'm pulling back the curtain. We're breaking down 5 phrases women say that you've probably heard before, and maybe even believed. But these phrases, they're not harmless. They're emotional smokescreens. And if you ignore what they really mean, you'll find yourself wasting years on someone who was never choosing you in the first place. Let's dive deep. 1. I don't owe you anything. You gave her consistency. You showed up when no one else did. You were patient, loyal, supportive, even when she was being distant, vague, or hot and cold. And when you finally ask for clarity, for some honesty, what does she say? I don't owe you anything. Translation? I want the benefits of you, but not the responsibility of being with you. And here's the kicker. She's technically right. No one owes you anything. But if someone's been receiving your time, energy, emotional investment, and even love, and then turns around and says this, that's not a statement of truth. That's a statement of disrespect. Because high-value relationships aren't built on debt. They're built on mutual respect, mutual intention, mutual growth. So if she's quick to tell you what she doesn't owe, it's a sign she's never been in this with you equally. She was in it for what she could take, and a man who respects himself doesn't fight to keep someone who feels nothing is owed after everything you've given. Walk away, not to punish her, but to protect yourself. 2. That's just how I am. Let's say she's cold when you need warmth. She shuts down when you're trying to connect. Maybe she crosses a boundary, disrespects your values, or makes you feel invisible. And when you bring it up, she shrugs it off with, that's just how I am. Translation? I'm not changing, even if my behavior is hurting you. This one is dangerous because it's dressed in authenticity. It sounds like honesty, but it's actually emotional laziness. See, everyone has flaws, but people who care about you will grow through those flaws, not hide behind them. When someone uses, that's just how I am as a defense, they're telling you, I value my comfort more than your feelings. I will not evolve, even if it costs us this connection. And that's not love. That's not maturity. That's someone who wants you to adjust around their dysfunction while they do nothing. High-value men don't tolerate that. You're not looking for perfect. You're looking for effort. And if she won't grow, you outgrow her. 3. I can have any guy I want. Now this one's subtle, but very telling. Maybe you're arguing. Maybe you pull back a little, or show her she's not the center of your world. Suddenly she says, I can have any guy I want. Translation? I need you to feel insecure so you chase me harder. This isn't confidence. This is insecurity wrapped in ego, because a truly confident woman doesn't need to broadcast her options, and she definitely doesn't need to weaponize them to control you. What she's doing here is classic emotional manipulation. She's trying to activate your fear of loss. She wants you to feel like she's the prize and you're just lucky to be in the room. But let me remind you of something. You are the prize. When you bring leadership, integrity, direction, and emotional discipline to the table, you're not intimidated by her options because you know your value. You don't beg to be chosen. You walk and watch how fast the power shifts. Let her go have any guy she wants. Chances are they won't put up with half of what you tolerated, and she knows it. 4. You're too insecure. You ask her about the guy she keeps texting at 2 a.m. You question why she's liking certain pictures or staying close with her ex. You express a boundary. And what does she say? You're too insecure. Translation? Don't question me, or I'll shame you for it. See, there's a difference between control and communication. You're not being toxic for asking for clarity. You're being present. You're trying to build something real, not just playhouse while she keeps doors open. But instead of reassuring you or having an adult conversation, she flips the script. She makes you feel like you're the problem for caring. That's manipulation, plain and simple. A healthy woman respects your concerns. She doesn't shame you for wanting transparency. She doesn't play defensive, she plays team. But when a woman uses "you're insecure" every time you try to bring accountability into the room, that's not your woman. That's a walking red flag. Don't explain yourself. Just enforce your boundary and walk. 5. I'm not ready for a relationship. Now we're here. This one hurts the most because it sounds honest. It sounds vulnerable, but for many men it becomes a trap. She tells you, "I'm not ready for a relationship." And you think, okay, she just needs time. I'll stay close. I'll be patient. She'll choose me eventually. But here's the brutal truth. When a woman says, "I'm not ready for a relationship," what she usually means is, "I'm not ready for a relationship with you." And that hurts, but it's real. Because the same woman who tells you she's not ready often ends up dating someone else 3 weeks later. Why? Because for him, she was ready. Because desire removes confusion. Now let's be fair. Sometimes people are healing. Sometimes they need space, but if she's telling you she's not ready, while still accepting your attention, your emotional support, your time, she's not being vulnerable. She's being convenient. She's getting boyfriend treatment without having to be a girlfriend. You become the in-between guy, the placeholder, the emotional crutch, the free therapist, the loyalty without labels, and the moment you pull back, she gives you just enough hope to keep you close, but never enough to commit. Listen, a woman who truly wants to be with you won't risk losing you over indecision. She might be scared. She might need reassurance, but she won't play with your heart while keeping her options open. So take her words at face value. If she's not ready, she's not your future, and your job isn't to wait. It's to lead. Final words, protect your peace, not her excuses. Let's get brutally honest. Men aren't losing because they're not good enough. They're losing because they don't know what not to tolerate. We're told to be patient, to be understanding, to hold space for her trauma, her fear, her past. Even when she's stepping on our peace, our worth, our time. But no more. Because the words women say, they're not random. They're not harmless. They are reveals. They tell you exactly who she is, what she values, what she will and won't take responsibility for. Let's recap. I don't owe you anything. I want benefits, not balance. That's just how I am. I won't grow even if it hurts you. I can have any guy I want. I need you to chase me harder. You're too insecure. Don't question me, or I'll shame you. I'm not ready for a relationship. I want your energy, not your commitment. These are not feminine strength. They are emotional avoidance and manipulation disguised as truth. And if you stay hoping it'll change, all you're doing is teaching her that your standards are flexible and your value can be bargained. But here's what you need to remember. You're not a backup plan. You're not her emotional rehab center. You're not here to fix broken patterns. You are a man, and that means when you see the signs, you don't argue. You don't chase, you don't explain. You walk, not because you're angry, but because you're wise. You protect your energy. You protect your purpose. You protect your future. So the next time you hear one of these phrases, don't panic. Don't overthink. Don't beg. Just get clear and start leading your own story, because you deserve more than half love and emotional scraps. You deserve respect. And if she can't give you that, you give it to yourself by walking away like a man who finally knows his worth, who finally